allegiance this evening. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Before we get started on our budget workshop this evening, which consists of 3 departments, the Office of Planning and Economic Development, CWLP, and OBM, Office of Budget Management, I would like to ask if you would all please join me in a moment of silence. Springfield lost 2 very good friends yesterday, that being Rosemary Long, Republican Party Chairman, and Tony Leone, owner of the Passfield House and friend of Springfield. They're 2 true treasures and represent what this community has to offer, and let's give them a moment of silence. Thank you, and may their families find peace and comfort.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, first up this evening is the Office of Planning and Economic Development. Director Yezel, you're up.
I'm up. All right, fantastic.
Thank you.
And that's it? I'm done? Okay. So good evening, council members. Thank you for your time this evening. Done. All right, we have our department structure. It's broken into 3 divisions. Our housing division, which consists of our block grant and home funds. Our economic development division that deals with our TIFs and enterprise zones, and our fiscal services. Our workforce staffing levels remain fairly level. We have 2 vacancies, a receptionist position that's been open since December of 2019, and an operations manager that has been vacant since May 2020. The makeup of our employees is 71% female and 14% minority. The changes of note in our full department budget is that our fiscal year 2022 budget request of $16.4 million is up 6.85 from fiscal year 2021 due to increased fund balances in some of the TIFs, and personal services is up as the AmeriCorps program has been moved from the mayor's budget into our budget. And this slide just shows a snapshot of how the previous slide's expenses are broken down by fund. As you will see, some of the larger downtown TIF, Madison Park Place, and Community Development Block Grant, along with the South Grand Point TIF, or also known as the Far East TIF. Here we see the comparison to last year's budget. Even though OPED assumed the duties and the $144,000 budget for the AmeriCorps grant, we lowered our other line items to show an overall reduction of $27,000 for our previous year's request of corporate funds. We have an increase in funding requests for Madison Park Place, Jefferson Crossing, Parkway, Dirksen Parkway, MacArthur Boulevard, Far East, and Peoria Road due to increased fund balances. There's a decrease in the Enos Park as the TIF has expired, and downtown as we've spent down those fund balances. Community Development Block Grant was increased with the supplemental appropriation for the $799,000 CARES Act fund, and an estimated $100,000 was carried over revenue and expenditures for fiscal year 2022. We continue to build and enhance the services of the Office of Planning and Economic Development and are pleased to report these following accomplishments. There was a major amendment to our consolidated plan to include the utilization of almost $800,000 in CARES Act funds. Thanks to your forward thinking last year, our grant writer has secured $836,728 in funding for the city, and we're still awaiting word on 2 additional groups. The grant writer set a personal goal for herself last year of $1 million within her first year, and I think she's going to make that. Automated weekly permit analysis into the live GIS dashboard allows our business manager to proactively plan and reach out to applicants if they're within an incentive area. And we collaborated with various city departments to efficiently and effectively import all existing and new surplus real properties within CityWorks. We served as the complete count chair for the city, realizing a completion self-response rate of 70.9%. We completed 10 TIF exterior rehab projects. We completed the second year of the City of Springfield AmeriCorps program. There's ongoing project management for the YMCA, Springfield Commons, Public Market, St. Nick, Hy-Vee, and Innovate Springfield. We awarded and dispersed 124 $5,000 grants to small businesses in Springfield for a total of $620,000. Outreach to hundreds of businesses providing support and resource availability information to help them during the beginning of the COVID outbreak especially. We recruited 3 new contractors to work on some of our various programs. Converted laptops for all staff so we'd all be able to do our job no matter the circumstances. And we provided support and guidance to the executive team for the successful opening of the Portillo's. I just had to add that for you, Mayor. Along with working with developers and other departments to ensure success for all. Some of the outreach that we do from my office are included there for DSI, SSGA, the banks, Continuum of Care, Innovate Springfield, Land Sub, UIS, Lincoln Land, DCEO, Regional Planning, Mid-Illinois Med District, the Chamber, and industry organizations. We're also very involved with many of the neighborhood associations, although very few of them met last year, but they're starting to hold their meetings this year, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get back involved with all of them. This is a snapshot of our budget by funding sources with the South Grand Point TIF, also known as the Far East TIF, the Downtown TIF, and the Community Development Block Grants, making them up a little over half of our budget. And finally, a snapshot of the OPED budget request within the corporate budget is at 1% or $938,810. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Director. Any questions from the alders in the chambers this evening? Okay, seeing and hearing none. How about on the Zoom call? Alderwoman Conley.
Thank you, Chair, and I promise not to take long with this question. Just briefly, I know 2020 was about 10 years worth of a year, but I think Director Yeasel, you also left off the work that your office did for the census last year?
I said I was a complete count chair for the census. Yes, that's
okay.
What that one was.
Thanks I appreciate all of the information that you shared with us, because I certainly tried to share that with my ward to make sure that we got our counts in. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I'm assuming we'll hear more from you on TIFs on Tuesday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Alderman McMenamin, and then Alderwoman Turner.
Mr. Chair, let the record reflect I joined a few minutes late. Could you, as a point of information, indicate which aldermen are participating in the horseshoe? Thank you.
Well, sure, I'd be happy to. I can see across the way, of course, I'm in the chamber, Alderman Redpath, Alderman Gregory, Alderman Proctor, and Alderman Hanauer to my left. Those are the ones in the chamber.
Same people who are always here.
Most of the time. Thank you.
Alderwoman Turner.
I just have a quick question. So what, with the expansion of the Far East TIF, was that renamed the South Grand Point TIF?
Yeah, I think it was the South Grand Point TIF before, and somehow, I don't remember, John, how did that come about?
There was the Far East TIF, and then there was the South Grand Point project, which basically was the hub.
You want to come up here and so she can hear?
Nice try, John. You got to come up to the podium, right?
Yeah, this is my pride and joy right here. It was called the Far East TIF to begin with, but then there was the Parkway Point project, which was basically the Cub Foods that went in there, which is now the Public Health Department. So it kind of goes by the same name.
Okay, because I just, the time I've been here, I've just always known it as the Far East TIF. I didn't realize there was a name change.
Well, it didn't really change. It's just that project area was called the Parkway Point. I'm sorry, yeah, not Parkway Point.
No.
South.
Yeah.
What is it called, John?
South Grand Point.
Yeah, South Grand Point.
South Grand Point project. That was the Cobb County Market that was there.
Okay, so is it the Far East TIF or the South Grand Point TIF? I mean, I just
It's the
want to
Far
know.
East TIF. It's officially called the Far East TIF.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other alderman, alderwoman have questions of the director? Going once, going twice? Director, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time this evening, but I'd also like to point to this gentleman standing to my left. John
Please.
Rogers has served our city for 36 years, and he plans to retire in the spring. So this may very well be the last time that you get a chance to see him. So one of the things I just want to say, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he has been absolutely invaluable to me, and it frightens me tremendously thinking of all the institutional knowledge that's going to walk out the door, the point being what you just answered for Alderwoman Turner's question. I did not know that answer. So one of the things that I have to say about John is he keeps us on point, and his knowledge base is absolutely unbelievable. I can ask him about something that happened in the city, and I'll go, I think that was the second year of, let's see, maybe that was Ozzy's. That was maybe when he was in office, his second year, or, that was in, fall of 1989 or 1990. So, I mean, he is like a walking encyclopedia. He's going to be greatly missed in our department, and I would say to you with every confidence that anybody would be well-pressed to try and find anything that's amiss in my department. So I hope you'll wish him well in his retirement, and we know we're sure going to miss him.
Thank you.
Well, John, we are sad to see you go, but absolutely understand and wish you nothing but the best. When I started at the city quite some time ago, in a different capacity. One thing I learned very quickly, it was in the first week, that we have the utmost professionals here at the City of Springfield. We're blessed with that, and you're one of those individuals. So thank you for all you've done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, John. You and I have been here a long time together.
We have, back when it was not this form of government.
Yes.
Director John, thank you very much. And at the request of our boss, Tony Thompson, we're going to take a 2-minute break to switch departments. Next up is City Water, Light, and Power. Thank you all.
I'm going to wipe this off real quick.